Asked me that a lot, so it's this is the God's honest truth. Everybody thought I left for the money. It had absolutely nothing to do with the money. Back then, no trade clause were pretty much not in existence. They weren't at all. That's actually that year was. It's my understanding. I really don't know, but it's my understanding. There was a line item in the contracts, almost like a checkbox. For no trade clause in the contract. I could be wrong, I could be right, I really don't. That was my understanding. So, free agency was July 1st. I signed with the Rangers on August 23rd, 24th. So it was a long period of time that took place there. So because the season went longer, the Devils had a couple of players in the minors, a couple of defensemen in the minors that was down there for a few years and really had to come up and start playing. I was the oldest defenseman in the team. I already shared with you, my wife was one of the older wives. I already had kids. I went to Lou, well, my agent went to Lou before July 1st and said, look, Bruce is just looking for a 3-year contract, no trade. I can't do it. And I didn't have to like it, but I understood it as a business, and if you know Lou was leaving every avenue open to improve the team. Whether I was the main guy in the trade, thrown into the trade, thrown into a 5-player trade, a 3-team deal, whatever. So, literally I got that response back from my agent saying he's not willing to give you no trade clause. I didn't want to move. I felt, I'd be one of the guys probably be moved because I was an older guy. My shoulder had been, as I said, been dislocated on and off since 1992-93. I had shoulder surgery July 7th. There's question whether I'm going to go come back and play or not. So Neil Smith called me. Yeah, we talked to Neil Smith. Neil Smith called me, or called my agent. Bruce wants a 3-year no trade clause. Done. Give him 3 years no trade. We never talked about no money, no nothing. This is early July. My agent was working with Toronto, St. Louis, New Jersey, and New York. Toronto appealed to me a little bit. In hometown, but then there's a lot of the pressures. You're there, friends, your kids you grew up with. St. Louis kind of fell off the way for a little bit. Toronto fell off the way. But literally all summer long, I kept going back to Lou and meeting with Lou. I'll never forget. I was here in New Jersey. I spent a lot of time in Toronto in the summer, just to skate towards the end of the summer. This was probably end of July, probably early August. Dr. Rick Mullen had his own plane. So we went to Teterboro. I went to Teterboro Airport, jumped in the plane, Dr. Mullen's plane with Lou, flew up to Toronto to a little small airport up there, met my agent at a little golf course, had the conversation again. All Bruce wants is a 3-year no trade club. I'd love to, but I can't. I had to get on the plane with Lou, me and him on that plane, and fly back, knowing that's it. My Devils career is done. So I let Lou walk off the plane. I was like, there's not a word said on the flight all the way back. And he walked off the plane. I was disappointed, but again, I understood. And again, we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I was in Toronto training towards, as I said, around August 23rd, 24th. The day prior, I got a phone call. I don't remember who it was in the Devils organization, said the Stanley Cup was going to be in Toronto for a day. It had been in Russia with Slava Pratisov, it was going to be in Toronto, and it was on its way to British Columbia for Scott Beamer to take the cup. I was supposed to get the cup here in New Jersey. So they called me, I said, you want the cup today? I said, great, yeah, I'll have it. And that was the first year they had to keep the cup because the Rangers down so much the year before. They now had a guy following the cup. So this was all new stuff, like we didn't know what to expect. So I didn't have any time to plan. Just got a hold of family, friends, had the cup at my house for half the day, took it to my mother-in-law's for half the day. Experienced the thought as many people as I could, but I couldn't plan an event that were local rain and stuff like that. So I went to my mother-in-law's house. Boom, my agent gets a phone call from Neil Smith. He was at my parents' house, didn't go to my mother's house. Now he's calling my mother-in-law's house, says Neil Smith is coming to Toronto tomorrow to sign to the contract. All right, I'm gonna make one more phone call. So I called back to Lou. Luke, Neil Smith's coming with more assignments in the contract. I said, all you gotta do is tell me you'll give me no trails. I tell them not to come. Never talk money with the Devils. Never talk money with the Rangers. Met with Neil Smith that next day for the first time. Sat down, we probably talked for an hour about the Devils and how we play and how we won the Stanley Cup that year and the system that we played. He said, what do you want? Money-wise, my agent gave him a figure. He called New York. How about this? Okay, done. My contract was literally done in 20 minutes, the money. So people that think I left to the Rangers for money, it had nothing to do with the money. It had everything to do with me not being traded and making sure that I could keep my family staying. I stayed in the same house in New Jersey. Did I make more money playing for it? A little bit, like just a tiny bit. The reality of that situation is Tommy Abilene was the second oldest defenseman in the team. He got traded to Calgary after that. So there you go. I probably would have been gone somewhere where I didn't have a choice of where I wanted to go. So I ended up playing 3 years for New York. Lived in the same house, just commuted to New York like half the people do in New Jersey anyway. But that's the true story. And I will say this, and again, it reverts back to Lou sending that flower arrangement to my house every year. That night he told me, he said, Bruce, he said, when you're done playing, call me. Guess what? He did. 23 years later, I'm still standing here working for the organization. So people who say bad things about Lou Arnold, I'll tell you the dead wrong.